Readings in the Philippine History.
The customs of the Tagalogs. Fray Juan de Plasencia, also known as Juan de Portocarrero, was a Franciscan missionary who arrived in the Philippines on July 2, 1578. He worked in the southern Tagalog region alongside Fray Diego de Oropesa and contributed to the establishment of towns in Quezon, Laguna, Rizal, and Bulacan. Through his interactions with the local population, he authored Relación de las Costumbres de los Tagalogs, Customs of the Tagalogs in 1589, detailing the political, social, economic, and cultural practices of Filipinos before Christianization. Born in Extremadura, Spain, during the early 16th century, he was part of a prominent family and grew up during the Siglo de Oro, a period of cultural flourishing in Spain.
Social classes. The social classes consist of chieftain, dato, nobles, maharlicas, commoners, aliping, namamahay, and slaves, aliping, saguiguilir. Chieftain, dato. The dato held the highest position in pre-colonial Filipino society. They served as the chief, military leader, and ultimate authority within their respective territories. Their word was law, and they commanded the respect and obedience of their people. Nobles, maharlicas. The maharlicas constituted the freeborn class. They enjoyed significant privileges, including exemption from taxation and tribute. Their social standing was largely hereditary, and they often held positions of influence and power within the community. Commoners, aliping, namamahay. Aliping, namamahay were considered free men, despite being part of a hierarchical system. They owned their homes and property, including land and gold, and were not subjected to arbitrary sale. Their obligations to the dato typically involved paying tribute or performing labor services. Slaves, aliping, saguiguilir. Aliping, saguiguilir were the lowest social class, essentially chattel slaves. They lived in their master's household and worked on their cultivated lands. They could be bought and sold, and their lives were entirely under the control of their owners. Houses. Traditional Filipino houses were typically constructed from readily available materials. Wood provided the framework, bamboo offered flexibility and strength, and nipa palm leaves formed the roofing. The design and size of the houses varied depending on the wealth and social status of the inhabitants. Government. The unit of government is called barangay, ruled by a chieftain, and consists of 30 to 100 families together with their relatives and slaves. Administration of justice. The chieftain's executive function includes implementing laws, ensuring order, and giving protection to his subject. Disputes between individuals were settled by a court made up of the chieftain and council of elders. Inheritance. The first son of the barangay chieftain inherits his father's position. If the first son dies, the second son succeeds their father. In the absence of male heirs, it is the eldest daughter that becomes the chieftain. Slaves. A person becomes slave by 1. By captivity and war. 2. By reason of debt. 3. By inheritance. 4. By purchase. And for krief, by committing a crime. Slaves can be emancipated through 1. By forgiveness. 2. By paying debt. 3. By condemnation. And 4. By bravery, where a slave can possibly become a dato, or by marriage.
Marriage customs. Men were in general called monogamous, while their wives are called asawa. Courtship begins with paninilbihan. Prior to marriage, the man requires to give a dowry. 1. Bigay kaya, a piece of land or gold. 2. Panghihimuyat, a gift for the bride's parents. And bigay suso, for bride's wet nurse. Note: marriage between couples belonging to different social classes were not common. Several grounds of divorce are 1. Adultery. 2. Abandonment on the part of the husband. 3. Cruelty. And 4. Insanity.
Religious belief. They worship many gods and goddesses. Bathala, the supreme being. 2. Idayanale, the god of agriculture. 3. Siddharapa, the god of death. Agni, the god of fire. 5. Balangao, the god of rainbow. 6. Mandarangan, the god of war. 7. Lalahon, the god of harvest. And point 8. Siginarugan, god of hell. And also they believe in sacred animals and trees.
Superstitious beliefs. The people believe in aswang, duende, kapre, tikbalang, pachanak tianak. They also believe in magical power of amulet and charms such as anting anting, kulam, and gayuma, or love potion. Economic life. Agriculture in the plainlands, planting of rice, corn, banana, coconut, sugar canes, and other kinds of vegetable and fruits. Hunting in high lands, fishing in river banks and sea, shipbuilding, weaving, poultry, mining and lumbering. Domestic trade of different barangays by boat. Foreign trade with countries like Borneo, China, Japan, Cambodia, Java, and Thailand. Language and system of writing. Major languages: Tagalog, Ilocano, Pangasinan, Pampangan, Sugbuhanon, Hiligaynon, Maguindanao, and Samarnon. This language is originated from the Malayo-Polynesian language. System of writing. The alphabets consisted of 3 vowels and 14 consonants called Baybay or Baybayin. They used tap of tress as ink and pointed stick as pencil. They wrote on large plant leaves, bark of a tree, or bamboo tubes,